What's up everybody? Welcome back to Carried by Code. We got a great little video for you all today. We are going to be making our own miniature figures. So get your laptops out, get your iPads out, whatever you guys are using nowadays. Follow along on here. So today we're and get into this video right now.
What's going on, everybody? And we're back here in our software Mecha Bricks. As you can see here, just rotating around the blank surface here. This is what the opening page looks like when you open it up. So you just got a blank layout here, a little square where you can start to add your pieces, anything you want to do. Down there, search bar here, there's a little drop down menu, all sorts of different options. You have your minifigures, your head, your clothing, upper parts, lower parts, hair, all that stuff. Now, we're going to go ahead and head down to the search bar. We're searching through the blue items, looking for some type of hat, hood here for our little winter figure. And I think I'm going to go with this one right here, this little blue Eskimo hood. I like the way that one is looking right there. So I'm going to go ahead and type in some keywords that might pull up some similar things to this to match our top. And this is perfect right here. So this blue and this blue match. So I'm gonna go ahead and drag that down onto our body. Put that right there. And then I'm gonna search a few more things to try and find something that matches. So you just type in pants here. I'm kind of liking these, but I think I might try and find one that's a little bit lighter, that matches the top a bit more. So let's scroll down here. Oh, perfect. So let's compare these two here. Let's check this out. Move this over. Okay, so I think I like this light one a little bit more. Let's go ahead and drag this on over underneath our figure. Connect that to the body, and yeah, definitely. I like the way that was looking compared to the darker one. So we'll probably just go ahead with that. I'm gonna search the blue again and see if there's anything else here that might jump out, but I think I'm cool with that. Now, go to the heads here. All those little categories there where you pick which heads you want. I went to the Star Wars tab, and then I might go with this little blue head right here. I kind of like the way that one is looking right there. So let's go ahead and get that on our figure. So that might be too much blue, but we can always come back and change it and do something a little bit different. Let's go ahead and look through a few more of these and see if it's something we like. We'll come back to that one in a little bit. Let's go to the accessories. I kind of wanted to give him like a shoulder bag or like a little satchel, or it's not satchel, I don't even know what it's called, a bag to, emphasize, he's out in the woods, he's carrying tools. So we'll go ahead and get this shoulder bag on here. We'll click that, drag this down and then over a little bit more. And then we will have to rotate this up, make sure it's going to be straight on our shoulders, and then go back to our other adjustments, push that back over a little bit and then up onto the shoulder. So move that over a bit, and I think that's definitely too far out. So let's go ahead and tighten that up on the shoulder a bit more, move that over, and that's perfect right there. Great. So really like the way this is coming out so far. We got our blue guy. He has his shoulder bag on. Now we're gonna have to pick a color. So let me go ahead and get this screen expanded out for you guys. So now we have our color picker tool here on the right. Right now we have it on rubber feature, which will come into play when we render. So clicking through these colors here, I want a brown, not like tutu, like orange brown, and not like a black brown, just a regular classic brown bag. Definitely not gonna go with that yellow there. So I think I like the way this looks here. Just a nice little classic brown bag there on his shoulder for his journey through the winter island. Now, I'll add a little snowflake there just to emphasize that he is out in the snow, in the wilderness. I'm gonna go ahead down to our color tool picker again and get a nice little blue on there. But here I might change the texture. So I'm clicking through some of these colors, and as you can see that drop down menu, we have pearlescent, metal, chrome, rubber, transparent, glitter. I'm gonna go ahead to the glitter features to have that little sparkle to kind of show the snow, the crystals, the sunlight glare off of that. Like I said, that'll come into play when we're rendering out. So I went back to heads here, and I'm gonna change the head. I'm not liking the blue, it's just too much blue. Let's just be honest here. So I'm gonna go ahead and try and find a face that has a facial expression that kind of shows cold, like kind of like grimacing, wincing. So I think this one here would be perfect. Let's go ahead and hold on, change that. All right, get that dragged up to the top. And yeah, I'm definitely liking the way this is looking so far. You see he has that little facial expression on there that kind of shows he's cold. So next we are gonna have to go ahead and add some accessories to kind of spice up our scene a bit. I wanted to do a bow, but I just don't think it's gonna really work with this kind of setting. And these bows are kind of big, so we might just go ahead and pass up the bow and look for something else. So in the search bar at the bottom, I went ahead and typed in a pick. So he'll have like an ice pick, pretty common out there, pick an ice or trying to climb, something like that. So snap that onto his hands there. And I'm liking the way this is looking. Now I just need to change my figure up a little bit to make it more of a live action, so he's not just like standing straight up and down. So we're gonna go back to our rotate tool, and we are gonna rotate this leg here. And as you can see with the rotate tool, you can rotate it back, you can rotate it forward as well. You can really get it any direction you want with this rotate tool. I really like the way that they did this. They give you the lines, you can go forward, back, left, right, any type of rotation. So we'll go with that forward. We'll drag this leg back a bit. So now it looks like he's running or stepping, which looks a little bit more lively than when he was just standing straight up and down. So drag that down so he's on the ground. Now we're gonna have to move these hands so they match the feet. So we'll drag this one back, and this hand here, we'll have to drag this out a bit so it's not in our head. Snap that on with the S and then click to the dot again. That's how you snap. And then boom, now we have our figure here. As you can see, a bit more lively. Looks like he's running or moving towards a target with his pick. So went ahead and changed the color as well. I'm not really liking that black. I think this gray looks a little bit better. I have it on a rubber material, so when it renders, it's just kind of dull. Comparing that back and forth, I definitely like the gray a lot more. Let's see, black, gray, yeah. Perfect, so we're just gonna go ahead and keep up with this gray here. Now we're gonna add the camera here. Now this is the cool part about Mechabricks, is because the camera feature is super simple to use, unlike Blender. You can just click it on there, drag and drop. I've sped up the time here because I did a lot of adjustments. You can pick how you want it, rotate it. I'm moving that snowflake in the back. I want to create a little bit more depth of field and a little bit of rotation on it, so it's rotated towards the camera and not just going straight, since our camera is coming in at a side angle. So doing that there, creating that little bit of depth of field, dragging the stuff around, and now we are into our 3D render. So here is our 3D space here where we have our minifigure and our snowflake there. As you can see, the camera there, just a bunch of empty space. This isn't necessarily the camera view, just the render overall screen. So now you can add lighting, a floor, and a background. So you go to floor, we're gonna go to the circle tab, and here it creates a circle color on the floor for when you render it out. So I'm gonna put a blue feature there. Now background, you can do image or color. We're gonna do color first. And then this is the camera view like I was talking about. It shows what the final image will look like. So you can pick your color. So I have a light going to dark. You can do light to white, light to dark blue, bunch of different little variations you can do here that I'm really liking with the blue guy and that little snowflake there in the back. So play around with these features with the scale and see what we can work out here. Give me 1 second. Click around there, see what kind of settings we can change, and perfect. We're gonna go ahead and render this out.
The cool thing about this also is the rendering speed. It's pretty fast, honestly, which is another cool thing about it. You render it,
We're talking about a minute maybe, and then you got your image there. And also you'll see raw render, which looks super cool too. If you can render like that as well. It'll have like a speckle, kind of like a different view to it. Here you can see it, that snowflake looks pretty cool too, almost transparent. So this is our first rendered image out here, that light to dark, kind of liked how I had it before. So it's not just that circle there. Should have played with that a little bit more, but we'll just go ahead with this for our final image for this one. Now we are going to change it up a little bit here. I came back to the original screen. Our floor is still on there. Just looking around a little bit, we are going to go ahead and go back to our 3D rendering screen. And as you can see here, I played with the lighting and you can see a little bit of that gloss on there now. So it has a little bit of a shine on there instead of just kind of that blank, dull miniature figure. I really like where that looks with that shine. So now instead of color, I clicked on image, make sure that's checked off. And then I added a background, which I didn't show, but I added a background. And then boom, your guy will be placed onto the image that you picked, which is perfect. As you can see, that glare looks really sharp on there. A little bit of a gloss. Take out that floor part so it's not, a blue circle. And then I'll show you guys the final images right now. So here are our 3 final images, the top, bottom, and the one on the right. The top with that background, and then the bottom and then the right is just the background in the circle floor with the color. My favorite, probably the bottom left or the top left. I like that glare, and then I like that winter background as well on them. So thank you guys for checking out the video, and we'll see you guys next time.